I thought I would talk about some spiritual experience that I had, because if we are getting near the end of this age and Jesus returning and lots of things happening, it's probably time to pull out the big guns. Like, there's no more point me knowing it's true, the Bible's true, and that Jesus is the way to get saved and the Bible's true. If you are in a false religion out there and I don't give you every opportunity and proof or evidence that I understand and I know is true, if I don't help you, I really haven't done my best to save you from save you, really, have I? If this is near the end, it's time. I think it's time I spoke up a little bit about that to help convince some people who um, don't know. So yep, I'm gonna do my best. So I'm gonna pull out some big guns. I've had extreme spiritual experiences. Uh, Everything from angels visiting me to heavenly experiences. So um, here it goes. Hopefully, someone believes me and realizes I'm not actually trying to make money off you or anything and try to pull a fast con job. I'm not interested in anything like that. I want to go to heaven, okay? I'm not interested in trying to rip people off like maybe some Christians might do. I'm not sure. So no, I don't care. You don't join my church. Okay, not interested. I just want you to be saved to go to heaven. Okay, that's my only intention. So here is my story. What happened? I wrote it down ages ago, so I'm just going to read it to you because my memory is probably a little bit shot anyway about what happened. But anyway, I'll relate it to you. I was sitting on my bed one night reading the Bible and praying when suddenly I heard a booming voice above me saying the words, "Come up here." I instantly remembered this verse in the Bible being in the book of Revelation when the angel spoke to John. So I figured I was getting a heavenly invitation. Okay, it's not every day. I don't have angels talk to me very often. Okay, it's not very common. This was one of the most amazing experiences I've had. Okay, so um, anyway, angel talks, booming voice, come up here. That's all I hear. Big booming, come up here, booming voice. I didn't know what to do next, so I just put my hands in the air, much like this, okay, hands in the air, and said, "Beam me up," which is a little bit funny. I still can't believe really that having such a powerful experience, I made a joke, a Star Wars joke. Was it Star Trek joke? Okay, so I I made a joke when an angel talked to me, inviting me to come up to heaven. Um, didn't lose my sense of humour at the time. Good stuff. Anyway, it didn't seem to matter. God wasn't offended. I shot up into the air, went actually straight through the floor above me. Um, I remember the details of passing through the floor and actually even seeing the joists and the dust and everything as I went through the floor. Um, then upstairs, through the ceiling and outside. So I was downstairs in the house, a two-story house, went straight through the up, flew off my bed, through the floor, through the sky. Um, Now yeah, I was praying at night. At the time, I was praying at night when I was on my bed, reading my Bible and praying. Uh, but when I got out of the house and left the house, it was a clear blue sky. Okay. I flew in the air and saw an angel flying over in the distance a bit. He was surrounded by about 6 people in a group, and they were all flying out to sea. I noticed there were heaps of groups. Across the horizon, I saw lots and lots of groups of people, all groups of about 6 or 7 people, all having one angel with them, and they were all flying out in the same direction, out to sea. Um, so there was angels with a group of people, and they were all flying out. Um, I was pretty buzzing, you can imagine. So I flew up to the nearest group, joined the group, and was just basically just checking the angel out and looking at him while I was flying, looking at the angel. So every day you get to fly around in the sky with angels. I remember thinking to myself, this is the coolest experience I've ever had. Then my mind wandered, where are we going? Where are we flying to? Okay, so having this amazing experience and then realizing, where are we going? We're going somewhere. Um, so I looked in the direction we're flying and saw something incredible. I remember my thoughts being, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to tell everyone about this. Okay, that's what I thought in my head, and I remember seeing something that blew my mind. I have a memory blackout. It's it's so unfair, so unfair. But I actually have a fully memory blackout from there on, and can't remember what I actually saw. Only just a pinprick of incredible glory. I saw such incredible glory, but I can't remember what actually I saw. I feel a little bit robbed there, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. God didn't want me to go, obviously, going around blabbing about it. What happened after those thoughts? I found myself back in bed, and I thought, how did I get here? That wasn't a dream. I tried to sit up, but found I had been tucked into my mattress. So what had happened was, I was in bed. I woke up going, that was the most incredible experience. How did I get in bed? And all of a sudden I tried to get up, sit up, and couldn't sit up because my sheets had been tucked in. And I was tucked securely into my bed. So I knew it wasn't actually a dream. Literally an angel had tucked me in. Okay, which is pretty cool. That had been tucked into bed by an angel. But it was a bit unfortunate. I think I feel a little robbed that I missed out on knowing actually what had happened. Now, when I flew out off the bed at the beginning and all that, went through the floors and all floorboards and all that sort of stuff, I thought I was in my body all the time. I thought I was still literally in my body, but more than likely my body stayed on the bed and I flew out in my spirit. Okay, more than likely, because my body didn't have injuries and there wasn't a hole in the floor of our house or anything. So there's no way I flew up through my body, through the floor. So the more than likely the body, I left my body. Okay, that would have been an out of body experience, but I wasn't aware that it was an out of body experience. That experience puzzled me for years. But I actually now think I pretty much know what had happened. Okay, and I'm pretty certain what actually I experienced was transportation in time to the actual second coming of Christ, and I actually got to witness it. For some reason, the Lord doesn't want me remembering much of it, or at least He doesn't want me sharing it. For those wanting a biblical example to confirm that God can actually do this, or has done it before, John, I believe, had the same experience. I think John on the island of Patmos says he was in the Spirit on the Lord's day before the event, just before the events occurred. He says he was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I watched a video with Chuck Missler, and Chuck Missler says he actually thinks the wording actually in the Book of Revelation is actually better worded as he was in the Spirit on the day of the Lord, which means he was actually physically transported or spiritually transported in time to be an eyewitness of the book, of the events in the Book of Revelation. So John, it appears, actually I was actually taken forward in time, and he heard the exact same words I heard come up here, and I believe that actually is what all Christians are going to hear before the rapture. I heard it, John heard it, I believe I was transported in time to that event to see the second coming. I don't know why, really. Honestly, I don't know why. John was transported in time to that event and got to write all about what happened and everything. And I believe actually was an eyewitness of it happening, um, actually happening, not him seeing it happen in the future prophetically, but I believe he actually was there watching it happen live. And I believe I was as well. Um, so transportation in time is what we want to call it. Either way, it was an out of body experience, flying with angels, seeing the second coming of the Lord. Pretty amazing anyway. But I'm pretty sure it's out of body experience. Now, one day, I really hope one day the Lord unlocks my memory and actually lets me remember what actually happened. But if not, doesn't really matter anyway, eh? We get to spend eternity with Him in heaven, and we get to hang out with all that stuff anyway. So it doesn't really matter if we see it now or later. It doesn't really matter. I have got to do stuff like that, and a lot of people have never even had anything close to that. So it was pretty cool.